welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately. 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for that intro, Raven. Before I get to introducing our cast for the finale of the Void Cavalcade, I would like to thank our sponsors, Fundamental RPG, made me lose my train of thought there, Fundamental RPG and Grinding Coffee Co. Remember, you can use your code RAVVYN at grindingcoffee.co to get 13% off your order, and I believe they do subscriptions now. Maybe look into that. With all that said, let's introduce our cast. Eka Norlax, why don't you start us off with who you are, who you're playing, and just remind us what you look like.
I assume you ask about my character.
Well, no, yeah. You could tell us what you look like too, though. We only ever see you from waist up, so.
There's nothing beyond what you see. As all the streamers, I start on my race. Okay, so I'm Eka Norlax. I'm mostly playing TTRPG games, and today I'm playing Mips, who also can be good streamer because he can end they can end wherever they want, because they are a shapeshifter and they can divide, and they are very friendly, and they are party's medic. There wasn't much use for that, and I hope it stays this way, even though this is a finale.
The best kind of medic is the one you don't need. Fingers crossed. Polished.
Hi, I'm Polished. As you can tell by the look in my eye, it's very early in the morning. And I'm playing Autumn, a sentient birch tree who is currently facing another existential crisis.
Seems to have been a lot of those. Was not planned. Darkora.
Hi, I am Darkora. Tonight, as has been so far, I am playing Eva Maddock, the token human engineer, who's also really good at shooting things.
Every time
you wouldn't know it because I've never had to
you
fire.
wouldn't know it. The best gunsmith just never has to fire a gun. Every time you say Eva Maddock, I always hear medic, and I'm like, wait, but you're playing. No, it's every single session.
Sure.
Jem.
Hi, my name is Dylan Jem, and I'll be playing as Luna. And for me, who wants to know, do you like jazz?
It's the last time you'll hear that for a while. I know. And Chavi, round us off.
Ever hear it
I'm gonna miss the sentient birch tree line, to be honest. Hi, I'm Chavi, also known as Hallway Secrets. I will be playing Willem, the angsty teen pilot who, interestingly enough, might actually be coming to a resolution to his existential crisis soon. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that pans out.
So am I. And as stated in the chat, you do have 13d6 to work with. So by all means, this is
This is the time.
Okay, cool.
Just so you know. And I have 14d6, which I may or may not.
That's the challenge, is to use them all.
Yeah.
How have we not used any of
I
these?
don't know. I keep seeing you roll, and you're like, oh, this is terrible. I'm like, oh, this pile of treasure isn't going anywhere.
Well,
To be fair, like at 5 in the morning, I probably forget a lot of numbers.
That's totally fair.
And failing sometimes seems like more fun. Yeah, you know, you like playing Dwarf Fortress. You should know.
I do like. Well, like is a strong word. I think.
Does anyone really
at this point?
Fine, you play Dwarf Fortress.
Yes. It plays me. So for Void Cavalcade, here is the recap of everything that's happened so far in 5 minutes or less. Timer now. The party started off getting a job from the PAD, which is kind of an adventurers guild, and they went out to deal with basically a black market dealer in this odd gold-laced ceramic. They went and dealt with that pretty handily, and the gold ceramic ended up getting on the market. So they've now found themselves adventuring around, finding derelicts, and getting into a deeper mystery of what's going on in the Fault, which is a large radiation patch from a failed FTL experiment centuries ago. They've now discovered through various back hubs and derelicts and other spooky dealings that there's possibly something living in the Fault, and possibly sentient as well. Last session, they found a engine or a converter, which uses radiation from the fault to make energy. What the people making it didn't know is that it also spawned an AI somehow. And the party also has a smaller AI from a previous derelict growing in a black box in their ship. There's a lot going on, but they've just recently blown a hole out of a hab, launched themselves while mag-locked to a combat drone into their ship, and they're now flying away from said umbral hab with combat drone and AI in a box in tow. So you've all just narrowly escaped from a bunch of horrible murder maintenance robots, and you've got the big drone in there. Everyone's safe and sound. You're a fair distance away, probably hundreds of kilometers at this point. What do you do?
Will's first call is to Yurt, because we need tech expert now.
We need tech. Oh, call up Yurt every time.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Will. Everyone okay?
Yeah, we're all fine. How do I put this? We've got a +1 I need you to take a look at.
Well, yeah, I sense we can see there's something big in the airlock. What happened?
Oh, +2.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Come on in. I guess. I'll be down in a minute. Do you need anyone else, or is it a prisoner? Like, what? When you say +1 or 2, what do you mean? Well,
one of them is not. One of them's a non-issue. That's fine. It's taken care of. The other, it's not dangerous. Just need your technical.
What
opinion.
did you do?
yeah, basically the silent equivalent of, what kind of shit did you step in?
I love how the giant killer drone is the non-issue here.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
not
Exactly what I wanted to say.
We've already disabled that. It's not a problem.
It's a big puppy dog. It's fine.
What
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
Okay, so you hear the comm click off, and a few minutes later, Yurt comes down to the hangar bay, and you get the sense of surprise and confusion from a floating cloud of gas through the little viewport as Yurt comes closer. Okay, well, I see one. Is that the issue? Because that's that's really
No, that's the one I've taken care of. So you
This is the part
remember
where you explain what the
Yeah, you remember that thing that happened on the Orange Blossom and we decided not to take it with us?
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that, but you first.
Might have made a different decision this time. I sort of set my hand down on Voidel's box.
You didn't.
It's right here.
Is it shielded?
It's in a box.
Okay, and she starts scanning it with her PDA and kind of going over specs on it, like, okay, just making sure because we don't want. Okay, this looks like it's lined with some kind of ceramic. That's weird. Is it got radiation in it? Because that's weird that it would have.
Probably. We think whenever it bursts, well, I think that whenever it bursts through a box or tries to expand, that's when the radiation spikes happen in the first place. So my plan, I don't know about the rest of you, is to effectively find a safe place for it to do that away from a lot of things. And then once the radiation is gone, maybe talk to it again.
Okay, so this now the thing I have to explain to you actually makes sense. So So while you were in there,
we could use some sense.
You careful what you wish for. I was digging around in the Habs files while you were on station, and they've got some nasty encryption on there. I didn't get all of it unencrypted. It's kind of why I had to talk to you about the thing we have in a box, but I'll get to that. Someone was funding a lot of stuff on the Hab. I think like all of the things you brought back and maybe more of them. But so the things that they were funding were radiation research, right? And energy research. It's all connected. They were trying to tap the fault for energy, but that's not the main reason. They were trying to shield themselves from it. Do you remember how we were hearing about the Veiled Hosts, that weird religious group, the kooky ones?
Vaguely familiar, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're the ones who were funding it.
For radiation shielding,
I
which
don't have
turned
any
out to be ceramics.
Yeah, I don't have any conclusive evidence, but I think they were using this stuff, but they didn't have enough of it. Like they were.
That should be a lot better now.
Yeah, I think they were trying to use it to get further into the fault because they keep sending 2 ships out, right? And as far as I hear, none of them ever come back. So maybe they're trying to get some more deeper into the fault. But that doesn't explain why you've got another AI in a box.
Yeah, we have one. It seems more aware of things than the previous one, and not, in the middle of a radiation spike.
I was gonna mention that. So
and also this time we are sure it exists in the first place.
Yeah, that's
we kind of made
difference.
more informed decision this time.
You know what they say? What is it? The backward sight is 100%.
That's
close enough.
Correct.
Also, well, it's alive.
I mean, given that
why
noobs
would we leave it there?
can put their eyes in their bum, probably.
Nope, I don't want to know. Nope.
Yurt looks at me. If Yurt looks at me, Yurt sees shredded suit, patched. We used entire roll of the tape to fix my suit.
You still got a bunch of it left over from being taped in.
Yep.
Okay. I guess there should be some extra suits in the locker. I'm not gonna ask. The one that we have in a box. I think it's thinking.
Yeah, it would be.
But like more than it was.
Yeah.
Well, you mean the one we had gathered before?
Yeah.
The one that's been growing from the fragments.
Do you want me to talk to it?
I don't know if I didn't really think that was an option. I thought we were going to space it, but I guess that's...
Maybe they should talk to each other.
I think that's not the first step.
Well,
until we know both of them,
if Voidal trusts us, and this new one is more afraid, Voidal can help us convince them on the new one not to spike the radiation on us.
Did you name it?
Oh no, it said that's what they called it.
Oh, okay.
Please tell me the next step isn't us creating an AI crash. Please, let's not do this. It is, isn't it? Oh no.
So yeah, I
How
guess
much is it thinking?
Not much. It's kind of like animals, I guess, because we don't really have animals, but as far as I've heard, the way people talk about animals, that's kind of what it's like. It's not sentient, but it's seeking out things more than just like an amoeba.
We didn't mean a social interaction. we just want to remind that the first spike Voidal created was not much later after it has awakened.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I haven't seen any spikes, and it is shielded, but not with whatever's on this thing.
Voidal broke out of its box once, and that's what caused a lot of things. I think it's just a part of the natural evolutionary process.
Should we do this in the airlock, maybe?
No, it knows. It told me.
Oh, I mean with the other one though, in case it's.
We don't think it would matter. Entire Orange Blossom was affected.
Oh no, I think it will do just that. I just think that we need to get it to a location where nothing is in range when it does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shouldn't be much different to staying out of a spore cloud, really.
When you put it like that, actually, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess if you want to talk to it, we can do that. I can set up an interface. I can't guarantee it's going to be much of a conversationalist.
I just want to tell Vordel what we're doing first.
Sure.
It's just been moved, and please let us know in advance if you want to spike something. Just give me a moment. Anything either of you want to mention to it this time? Anything you want to know from before? Sorry, it's hard to know. Normally people can hear conversations.
Right.
Who are you asking, just so I know?
Everyone.
Okay.
So hang on, let Eva get this clear. We found another AI in a box.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, because you hadn't been told while you were on the head.
I spent my entire time focusing on keeping us protected from the robots.
Yep.
Which is very admirable, and very appreciated.
All right.
It's an AI. It's called Voidal.
Okay.
It's probably from the vault.
Okay.
We might have 3 stages of evolution.
Okay.
Well, I am going to ask something that is going to sound strange and quite possibly offensive. Do you know how you came to have organic matter?
I don't.
Because that part I am a bit worried about.
Yeah, it's crossed my mind. No, I was found like I am now, but younger. I can show you baby pictures. I mean, I was like 5, but
How old were you when they found you?
like 5. I was very young. I don't really have any memory before.
I know Voidal doesn't want to live in a box, and heaven knows I can't blame it. But I'd rather not have a merger of some kind happen.
We don't know exactly what he is in there.
No.
It's weird thought. It could be kind of like a crib.
Yeah. Question is whether it has something to crawl out with, or if it jumps to something.
Right. But that's what I mean. I don't know if there's Because I don't think we would have been able to scan it.
Not the insides, not properly. That's
Basically, what I'm trying to say is there might be a kid in there.
I mean, could be. Or something that's looking for.
Not to butt in. Sorry. If it was looking to like transfer to someone else, wouldn't it have done that already? You said you talked to it.
I think it would be during a spike, and I don't think it. I think it's an automated. I don't think it's a conscious decision, or like a fully informed one. I think it's more I want out of this box and I can do it. Not stranger to you how a lot of species don't understand. But I don't know the details of the process.
Do we have any idea of what the inside of said box actually looks like? Because
might it rough idea.
I was going to say, might it be worth us trying to scan it more thoroughly while we've got it here and try and work out if there is actually a baby in that box?
Can we just do a quick scan for organic matter?
Yeah, you can do a quick scan for organic matter. Yurt's scanned the majority of it, but she hasn't been scanning for that. So a couple of minutes of scanning in, there's no organic matter per se. It doesn't flag like it should be organic matter, but it does flag as having electrical activity.
Okay. So anything similar to what we detected with Willem?
Yeah, it does match up to that. It also matches up to the one you have in the box, the other one.
Okay.
Again, not organic, but the way it's moving and kind of connecting things seems organic. But for the most part, it actually more resembles an Arcadian. It just seems like a kind of floating cloud, like just a bunch of gases.
Like a digital cloud of Arcadian, basically.
Yeah, almost.
Digital Arcadian, okay.
Yeah, but with some physical representation of it.
Okay.
More formless than like a cohesive whole.
Maybe they don't all reflect the same species.
Maybe.
Weird question. I know you two are good at hacking, and I'm probably going to tap you to help me with the encoded stuff later. Do you think it might be able to help?
Maybe. It's however, I'm not sure how old it is.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, like asking a baby to hack something.
Like, is asking a minor to help you hack a thing a crime?
I don't
that
think
wasn't
this
my first concern.
Okay.
I don't think there's a legal precedent for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anything you want me to ask it? Anything you want me to say?
I don't have a question for it, but I do have a question for you, Will. Did you ever have spikes like that?
That I know of.
Might be worth looking into.
Do you know which ship you were found on?
It was some junker. I can't remember the name of it. I can try to find out. I know who I can ask.
I know it's a personal thing, but I'd probably recommend seeing if you can find out what happened to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will. I gotta go make a call.
I don't have any other questions.
I mean, you can. It might not know, but ask them the questions we have. Is there a physical form that they have, or are they just thoughts?
Okay.
And then Will's gonna head to his quarters.
Okay.
I'll just make a quick call to Voidal.
Okay.
Hey, we just got here. Hope you're well in there.
Did we move?
Yes, it was quite exciting. But yeah, just wanted to keep you updated.
Where are we now?
We're on a spaceship.
Oh. Neat.
You're one of the very few AI who can say this, but you traveled through space briefly by means of being hox taped to a gigantic droid.
What's hox tape?
It's a fantastic thing. One day I'll tell you all about it. But there's something I wanted to ask you that we've been thinking about. I know you said you tried to leave your box before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what you're like outside of a box?
What do you mean?
Do you have a physical form? Like organic matter, gas, minerals?
I don't know. I guess it's hard to know because I'm in a box. I don't feel myself, but I guess I do. I don't think I'm made of organic matter. I think I'm just energy. Yeah, I think I am just energy.
Do you remember the person you spoke to before? Just after me?
Yeah. Yeah, Will.
Yeah. He's part organic. And part android, as far as we know. That's why I was asking if you have a physical form.
He's like me. But you said he's part organic?
Yeah. That's why we weren't sure if you have an organic form.
I don't think so. I guess I could, but I don't think I do.
Because we've been thinking about what happens when you do leave the box.
Because of what happened on the Hab.
We think so. We've seen another ship that we think this happened at. And it seems to emit a burst of radiation that affects everything around it. And we're thinking that if you do leave the box, we want to find a good space for that where there's nothing nearby. So that you have enough space for it.
So I don't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to hurt anyone. I didn't mean to hurt anyone.
I don't think you meant to. What I'm trying to figure out is what happens to you after you leave a box, and whether you need somewhere new to live. Or if you sort of shape yourself.
Would my body be like Will's, or would it just be a different kind of box?
I have no idea. But I think that's why I'm trying to figure out if you have a form. Because then maybe we could do something to help that. For example, do you see us? Do you know what we look like?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I hear you, but I don't think I have ears.
Yeah. Well, we all look very different. And for example, Yurt, who was just in here, and who just spoke a little while ago, they're made up of essentially a cloud of different types of gases, and they live in a suit that can move with them to make it easier to interact with the world, at least when they're not on the home planet. Will and Eva look human. Will has, like I said, he's part android.
Mm-hmm.
Meeps is liquid, more or less, in a form that moves in ways that none of us can. And I think if we can figure out what kind of form, if any, would work for you, so that there's somewhere for you to live after a spike, then hopefully it won't feel like a box.
Okay. I think even if it was a box, getting to choose to be in one is better than just waking up in one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be here. Just let me know when we'll do it.
It might be a while. There's a lot for us to figure out how to do this safely. But I just wanted to let you know that we are thinking about it. We haven't forgotten you. And we have no plans to deactivate you.
Okay. Thank you, Autumn.
You're welcome. I'm just going to turn to the group. It doesn't know if it has a physical form. It thinks it's energy. I wasn't quite sure what to make of that, but I'm not sure it could have clarified.
I mean, you've got the Plato's cave problem, really, of asking someone who's been inside a cave all their life what life is like outside of it.
Why would anyone live in a cave? You can just walk out of them.
I think it's just a human thing.
It's a thought experiment.
Sometimes-
Don't worry.
I mean, hey, dark places are kind of cool, to be honest.
Or I don't even really get the concept of a cave. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's big hole and like ground.
I mean, like technically this whole ship would be a cave.
A cave's like a big hole in the ground that you could like walk in and live in.
Why though?
If you
Humans
don't have
live
the
in
means to
caves?
make another,
Where you're
yeah,
from?
humans used to. Humans used to. We don't now.
Humans used to.
Primitive humans used to.
Why is a cave primitive? It's just there.
But there's
Because
no technology.
they didn't have the
live in
technology to
stone
build the
houses,
thing.
don't
Yes.
they? So it's primitive if the stone is left to be stone, but if you take it apart and put it together again, it's not primitive?
It's
Basically.
upgrades. Upgrades, people, upgrades.
That's strange.
This is why I love this game.
We just have these philosophical talks.
Yeah. Big. This is what people in space talk about.
Philosophical reference turns into, but why would people live in caves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you
does
need
the
to take the
trolley
stone
not?
apart? I don't get it.
Why does the trolley simply not fly off the track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not, turn off the artificial gravity?
Why don't the horses fly?
What are horses? Yeah, your seems very deep in thought. She's not saying much. She's just kind of staring at the pod.
Autumn's, for the moment, lost thinking about caves.
I remember the time she once lived in a cave. Listen, life as an artist, you gotta go with what you had to go with.
It's true.
Just like in real life.
I think I have an idea. And it's gonna sound crazy. It sounds crazy in my head. But what if it is just energy?
Why would that be crazy?
Well, it would be crazy because then think about it, right? Like how did it come to be? Maybe they scooped some of the fault in there, and you know how I guess it would be water on other planets, but like you know how when you scoop up something in from an ecosystem and you close it up or you put it in something, sometimes there's still stuff alive in there.
You think it's plankton?
I don't think it's not plankton.
Space plankton.
I mean, this is kind of 101 for Arcadians. This is how we all kind of came to be. But I mean, it was on a gas giant, not on a giant patch of radiation and scrap.
So you say this is something that draws energy from the fault, and part of this energy is just energy, and part of it is alive, and while trying to scoop this usual energy, they scooped some of the live one?
I guess if I had to relate it to something kind of more human, It's like picking up like what do you call them? Tadpole? When you scoop up something from a river?
Frogs.
Frog spawn, yeah.
I'm not saying that's
spawn.
what it is, but it could be. How else do you explain an AI propagating into totally different situations like that? Maybe even 3, if not
So
is, but
essentially they're picking up spawn from the fault, and then the bursts of radiation are what's causing that spawn to hatch.
maybe, or maybe them hatching is causing the radiation. I don't know.
I
have a theory,
pretty much
but it
what
might sound crazy.
Go for it, Luna.
I mean, coming from you, I would not be surprised.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Hey, my theories can be very intellectual if you think about them very hard enough.
Or if you've had enough to drink.
What if this AI is for the lost souls that was like on the ships when it all went wrong and the void was created? What if it's a lost soul stuck inside of it?
And now it's spitting out and hatching souls?
No, think about it. The ship that caused it might have people on it depending on age, and they died, and then their souls were trapped inside that void.
And then they turned into computer code.
I mean, we don't have souls.
I'm essentially a gas cloud. Stranger things have happened.
People believe we all are energy, and the physical part is just like organic robots.
Oh, like a meat suit.
Yeah. Because what's the difference between dead body and live body? You can't spot one physically. Well, it's very fresh, so to speak. There is something else that can be seen.
There's 2 things we've never found a definition for, despite talking about it a lot. And I don't think any culture has found a scientific answer to it, but we don't actually know there's no definition of being alive or being dead. We just use the terms.
I think the definition of dead is when the brain ceases to function.
Not every species has a brain.
All right, when your heart ceases to beat.
Or a heart.
You're just raises her hand.
When you stop breathing.
Well, I mean,
not everyone breathes.
Yeah, breathing's subjective.
All right, when you stop moving completely.
Some species don't move.
And this just goes on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it will.
All right, when you stop thinking and having thoughts.
No.
And
some creatures aren't sentient.
And even if we forget the dead and alive line, there's line between not sentient and self-aware. Like, what makes you you?
Oh, this is where the headache starts properly.
Yes, we've heard that single cameral creatures have this problem. We just discuss it between ourselves. That helps avoid headache if you have somebody to discuss this stuff with.
Everyone is like, well, I'm not fucking volunteering. Well,
but if it is energy, then at least it creates us a very easy way of finding safe environment. We have a lot of space around.
So do we feed it batteries to keep it fed?
We can leave the planet, go into middle of nothing, and it would be pretty safe. But what would the people that gave us this job think about this?
So after a while of conversation, Will would come back and just God's teeth.
God's
The name of the the name of the ship.
Oh.
Oh.
Ah.
Why would God need teeth?
I know. I've never understood
souls
that.
of the damned.
Do you know what happened to it?
No, but from what they remember, they had to isolate me for a while. Seems I was freaking out some sensors. And I asked, they don't have the readings. So all I can do is assume.
Do you know where they were when they found you? Like, if we could plot some locations,
And
that might give us
time.
some kind of information. Location and time might give us at least a baseline to work on.
Would I've gotten that? I know that, like,
I think. Let me check.
I don't remember if we had ever established.
I believe we established where they picked you up.
Okay.
And I want to say it was by the surf.
Perfect.
Yeah. I was either the surf or Soul Peak, but I think we had deliberated.
Well, I remember Soul Peak was where I left the ship.
Yes.
To join the pad.
Yeah, so it would have been the surf then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's some good news on that front.
Could you move us to the world overview map so I
yes.
can see that?
Right,
Sorry.
Right. We're not too far away, and
okay.
I've got some maps.
Oh, is it still there?
The ship probably isn't there, but
Yeah.
it was near the surf, where that station the Wake Chasers wanted us to go to. It was near there.
There is a pressing matter of the third AI that we have. If it's growing this quickly, it's probably going to try to hatch soon.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
I was going to suggest, for now, leaving it at the research station, well, at the hub where we found Voidal, if the area is wide enough to not be affected. To not affect other things. Because no one goes there, right?
that's true. Oh, there was one more thing, and I don't know why Tolis told me and not you, but You have a message, Autumn.
I do? Okay.
Some guy named Wix.
I'm bad with names. Yeah.
The message is as follows. If you still have what we agreed on, meet me in like this location on Dinai in about 6 hours. If not, best you don't stick around. And I will jog your memory. Wix is the name of the person you got the info from.
No, I know.
Okay.
And he wants the box.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I'm considering just saying we didn't find anything.
We found a lot of robots with lots of blades that cut us from our ship, and we had to make some new doors to leave the habitat that damage the habitat, and that's all.
Oh shit! What if that's Voidal?
Yeah.
Is there a way for them to trace you in your box?
Well, I don't know.
Have they ever said something about that?
Well, I think they said the way they usually find me, or I guess things like me, was from the radiation, but then they said they added something to the box so that they couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah.
Can we then do a search for any kind of transponder on the box? Do some scans.
Yeah, do
see the tracker.
Roll me a notice, plus whatever you have in program skill.
Okay.
Or fix, rather, not program. Just to see if you would notice something like this.
Okay, I mean, I've got +2 in either, so...
Okay.
So, notice plus fix.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah. Not plus the die, but plus whatever your bonus in fix is.
Nice.
We'll just see what Ava gets.
Oh, you want me to do that as well? Sorry.
If you want,
realize. Sure.
See if you get anything higher, because I know you're absurd with
+2. Well, I'm only good at fix because I get multiple dice. I've still only got a +2.
Okay.
And 11.
Yeah. So Ava, you don't notice any real transponders or anything. Autumn, you also don't notice any transponders, but you do think that this whole thing was set up to be almost a black box in and of itself. So there isn't any transmitting equipment, but there was receiving equipment, which doesn't look like it's on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Voidal, do you know if this part has ever been on? Is that something you can sense?
Yeah, that's where they used to talk to me and then send me things to look at.
When was the last time someone sent you something through there?
Before before I tried to get out of my box.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to camouflage the hell out of this box.
Don't worry, I got you.
No, I mean, okay. Yeah. I'm not going to stop Luna from painting the AI.
Yeah.
Let me just give my
It's probably the least dangerous thing she could do at this point.
Yes.
Let me just put that phrase down in a book somewhere. I'm not going to stop it, Luna, from painting the AI.
All right, so what do you want this box to look like?
You know what, Luna? It's entirely up to you.
Artistic license.
Full creative freedom.
This is our mini fridge. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Why does it look like a weird bee?
Oh, Minecraft B.
Oh my god. Okay, so you've got Luna painting the painting Voidal's crib. What are the rest of you doing?
MTV crib. My name is Void.
Oh no.
My name is Voidal. Welcome to my house. I mean my box.
Welcome to my crib. Yeah. Oh no.
Boo.
Come
Oh,
on,
that's
let me show
good.
you around.
I'm just going to send a quick reply to that message.
Mhm.
Just saying, found nothing.
Say like found nothing. Hab was ridiculous. Was irreparably damaged.
Found nothing except robots.
You almost died.
Okay. A few minutes later, you'll basically, I think Tolis will probably chime over the intercom, like, "Hey, Autumn, you got a call." Did you?
Yeah, well, no, that's not an acceptable form of communication. Don't answer.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You're like a click on the console, and then you hear the comms go off.
I'm gonna head to the bridge. We might need to. He did say don't stick around if we didn't find anything. So if you need me, I will be setting a course for the surf unless somebody has a better plan.
No better plan here.
I have some space ivy I need to take care of.
I have a pet I need to take care of.
Okay. So with everyone going about their tasks, Will, would you like to tell me where exactly in the surf you're going? Are you going to Cliff's Edge, or are you going just straight into the surf?
I think I'd probably cleave to Cliff's Edge, and then because it looks like there's not too much distance between that and the surf itself, right?
I hate to make a quote out of myself yet again, but space is really big.
Big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably also don't want to be near a populous location anyway.
I mean, it's also only, a few hundred meters will make a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just like a hop, skip, and a jump, really.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
All right. Well, I want to put us close, but
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not cleaving into the channels.
Okay. So yeah, Cliff's Edge is the closest populated place, aside from like a backwater planet or moon kind of thing, where you wouldn't really be able to dock aside from just landing on it.
Yeah.
But Cliff's Edge, yeah.
I don't know that we're necessarily ready to gonna dock anywhere.
Okay.
Like
just somewhere to jump off from.
To put ourselves into open space, yeah.
Gotcha. Cliff's Edge does have a starport in it. So you could potentially use that coupon if you wanted to.
That's true. We could do that.
That sounds good.
Do we want to do that?
Might as well. We've had it burning a hole in our pocket for however long.
Fair.
About a month.
Yeah, then I'll set a course for Cliff's Edge.
All right. Roll me your cleave drive check.
Okay. Is it 10? Is that the number that I don't need to roll for?
I believe it's 10, yeah. And you do get to re-roll, I think, right?
No, my auto succeed at drill related skill checks of difficulty 10 or less. And then
because I think that's only 2 hexes, so that shouldn't be any more than that.
If I do have to roll, then I double my pilot skill.
Oh, it's double. Gotcha.
Yeah, and our drive counts as 1 higher than it actually is as well.
Right. Basic quality is 7. Just let me check this real quick. Distance for full. Yeah, you would easily get through that. If you wanted to spend less time, then you could roll.
Sure, why not? Might as well use my my Starfire focus, right?
Okay. Keep in mind you've got 13d6. Just in putting that out there in case.
13d6.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Oh,
see. I
wow.
double my pilot, so that
I
gives me
think
a
the
modifier
total
of
game-
2.
You haven't rolled them more than like a handful of times.
Mm.
So I've got a 16 without a d6.
Bugger me.
I almost rolled max. So.
Yeah. So on a 16, you engage the cleave drive. The space around you starts to warp and kind of bleed away, and everything starts shifting red. And normally a trip that would take you about 3 days takes you just under a day to get there. You manage to skiff off kind of some less dense channels and avoid a lot of the traffic that you would normally have to worry about. Yes, there's space traffic. And yeah, you get there like just under a day. So as you come up to Cliff's Edge, you see a bustling spaceport in orbit around a fairly barren-looking planet. It doesn't look to have any atmosphere or anything like that, but the starport itself it's huge. Like, we know space is really big, but this is a fairly sizable starport, probably about the same size as the one around Tartarus. So it's got its own engineering bay, it looks like. You can see some larger capital ship size ships in there. And they look like they're being retrofitted. You can see kind of large arc welding sparks going off. And there's a lot of to and fro traffic, small and large. And a caravan looks like as though it has just left. You can see kind of the remainder on your sensors of their wake. So I think with that, given the time it is, if you're all good for a break, we could go for a quick tenor.
Sounds
and
good
you
to
could
me.
look through the book and see what you'd like to do. You have 120,000 credits to spend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
So with that, we're going to go take a quick 10-minute break, folks. So drink, stretch, get up, just get up. Just do whatever you got to do. And we'll be back.
All right.
It's a thing that happened.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a good moment to stretch as we're going to the final stretch of the Void Cavalcade. Party has just arrived at Cliff's Edge, which is a starport on the edge of the surf, a very dangerous part of the fault that some people like to go through for shits and giggles or quicker transport. They have figured out just how much money they can pull together to upgrade their ship, and now they're talking about what upgrades they want.
There was one thing we mentioned. It would be nice to have, like at least 2 times, tractor beams, 100K.
Okay.
That would have helped.
That's a good point.
Recently.
Yeah. So
It
okay.
might still help, yeah.
So that will be 50 plus the armor is 250 divided by 2. So that still leaves us with 100K.
And you can always try to haggle. Also,
Looking
I should
bad.
mention you did leave your shuttle on the Hab.
Shit.
I realized that as I was prepping today. I'm like,
I wasn't aware
"Oh."
we took the shuttle there, but okay.
Well, you parked the ship
Well-
about 100 kilometers out.
Yeah.
I thought they dropped us
I
off, but I could be wrong.
I made that decision, or at least put that decision forth, when I still thought that we were working in 2D space, not 3D space.
Yeah.
Like we were planet side.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the ship just dropped us off.
Yeah.
But that's not bad.
Mostly, as far as I know, it was you didn't want to get close with the ship. In
Yeah,
terms
there-
of the
There was that
going on
too.
there.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a spare shuttle or something that we picked up somewhere?
We still have a fighter.
The
I think.
fighter.
Oh,
Did
it's
you
a
keep one of the
fighter, okay.
fighters? You
Yeah,
mad.
we only sold
Yes.
one.
Mm.
We have
one
a
was-
giant mech, a fighter.
Your hangar bay is stuffed, by the way.
Right.
does look
yeah,
cool.
I'll say you can get the shuttle as well.
Just turns into a strange episode of Hoarders
A
eventually.
little bit, yeah.
It's like, just look at my hydroponics bag. Guys, I have everything.
and yeah, both the robot and the fighter like covered with the celery. The spice.
Oh
the
yeah,
spice
that's
celery.
right.
Yeah, at this
Celery
point.
vines.
Mm.
God.
So what class of ship are we? We're a frigate.
Frigate,
Our whole.
Yeah.
Okay. So we could get a fuel scoop for 5k. I could help inverse kind of keep us going.
That would preclude you finding a gas giant or a star in the surf, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Can't really do that in the surf.
If it wasn't going into the fault, I'd say yeah, probably. That's more just so you know, so you're not buying an upgrade
Sure.
you can't use.
Yeah, fair.
Could always get a precognitive nav chamber.
Well, that's
I
like a
mean-
million.
No, it's only 4 frigates and up, so it'd be 100k.
I mean, I think Autumn has gotten her hydroponics bay. She's happy with that and
Mm.
will pretty much, provided it's not extremely dumb, let
Mhm.
the rest of you decide.
I will also
Alice.
point out one that might interest
No
you.
promises.
Okay.
Is the sensor mask.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sensor mask.
Chip can
Okay.
disguise itself with long range. It can disguise its long range sensor readings, spoofing scans, so that you appear as a different type of hull.
Mm.
So you could appear huge, or you could appear like a little fighter.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Somebody will be sooner or later angry with us if it's not, if it hasn't already happened.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting the impression it's already happened.
No promises.
So we've gone with armor.
And which armor was that? So I know.
The what have you gone? The hardened polyceramic.
Cool.
What was the other thing we were looking at? My brain is.
We talked about
Yeah.
tractor beams at one point.
Oh, yeah,
but I'm not
tractor beam.
sure if. Okay.
Tractor beam, sensor mask, 2.5k. Tractor beam is
100
money.
total.
Yeah.
Or actually, hold on. It might be 10 because it says frigate on the.
No, I think you got it wrong, Jay. About the if that asterisk count multiplayer starts from the base class. I think the manual is clear that it's multiplied
seem-
by 10 when the fitting is installed in a frigate class hull. By 25, it's flat modifier.
It is, but it's odd to me that they would put that, but
You
then
said-
you have to multiply it anyway for the base of a frigate. That's kind of what I'm going with.
I got the impression you multiplied it the more classes up you went. So like
each
if you put it on a frigate, it's flat 10. And then if you went up one, it's more expensive.
It
And if you went
is.
up one more, it's more expensive.
Yeah, What I'm going with, at least on it, is that it says it can only be installed on a frigate or up. So
Right.
it
Well,
seems
the
odd that they
asterisk-
would.
The
I get that the
asterisk
asterisk
says
is there.
You have to multiply it more when you install it on cruiser or capital or on the capital ship.
Right.
Simply, you can't install it on a fighter, but
Yeah.
But they list the price for a fighter, which is
Why these multipliers?
odd.
Well, no, they list the price for a
Drill course
frigate,
regulator,
don't they? For the tractor beams.
no,
Oh, okay,
it isn't. You have to define it other way if you
Okay,
want
yeah,
to
it does
start
apply.
from
It
base
says
class.
at the start of the Starship fittings, like the last bit of that first paragraph.
Mhm.
So, for example, a frigate with a drill course regulator pays 250k credits, not 25. So the multiplier applies.
Oh, yeah,
whether
that's
or not
literally-
you're going larger.
It literally says, note that we apply these multipliers even if fitting only works on a large ship. That's the case we
Yeah.
are wondering
That's
about.
so bizarre. Why would you not just give us the standard thing for the lowest? Anyway,
Have you met this PDF before?
I have. I've met it in numerous instances, and I would love to never meet it again. Just-
But yeah, I don't know if these count as mods, because if so,
We're going to
the
count them as
Tinker
such.
part applies.
Yeah.
And the price is halved for credits.
Yeah, we're going to count them as such, just because otherwise there won't be much you can buy. Cool. Is that all you're getting,
Oh,
or
hang on, sensor mask.
what was the sensor mask was 50?
So I got the sensor mask. Yeah, it's 50 divided by 2, so it's 25k.
Okay, so that's what, 175. So you're at 200.
200k,
200,
yeah, out of our
yeah.
285, yeah.
Is there anything else you want?
I think if there's time, Autumn's just going to go looking for plants
Okay.
on this, sort of see if there's anything.
Oddly enough, you do find some plants. Yeah. This station in particular is not named Cliff Sedge for nothing. They grow varieties of sedge, and that's really about all you find. Sedge is basically grass for those not aware, but it's a variety of grass that's kind of a bush or a fern almost. Yeah, so you just find a few different varieties of sedge. Nothing.
Okay. Can I, for example, roll if I find anything useful in terms of spacesuits?
If you're looking for any like special type of spacesuit, certainly, but you can just buy like extra spacesuits if you want.
Like for a modular
Okay,
station.
so you essentially propose me to buy an extra crate of Hawk's tape.
Yeah, that's also something you can do. Yes.
Okay, that's actually not a
Oh
bad
my
idea.
god, I've
Extra-
forgotten that. I have Hawk's tape to explain to someone. That's what I'll be doing for a good 3 hours on this journey.
extra crate of Hawk's tape. Okay.
Oh, amazing.
Okay. Apologies. It sounds like someone's using the water upstairs. So if there's background noise, that's what it is. Yeah, PDFs are meant to be skimmed through and ignored 100%. So a crate of Hawk's tape is going to run you, we'll say 2,500 credits. It's a big crate. Like we're talking industrial size.
And it's
That's
so
what
versatile.
our
It's totally worth it.
that's the only
Yep.
size that matches our needs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quote unquote lifetime supply.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Well, don't tempt the fates. We don't know how
mean,
much life we've got
it's true.
left.
Yeah.
A
okay,
week
yeah.
later, Luna's making sculptures out of it.
Hmm.
You dare question the magic of Luna's art, Shim Skip?
Which,
No,
by the
I'm sure
way,
the sculptures are great. It's
Yeah,
the
can you
supply of
roll me,
Hawk's tape we're worried about.
can you roll me a work on that, Luna, for painting that pod?
So perform.
Work.
No, it'd be work, yeah, or
Or,
trade if you have trade.
hold on, let's see.
I
Trade.
think
Yeah,
we,
trade
I
is
think
one.
We did give you, yeah, one of
Oh,
those.
trade and work are both there. Yeah.
Yeah,
The trade of work for what?
because you were painting the pod, the AI pod.
Would it be better for perform?
Perform is more like physical acts, like dancing, singing,
Ah.
telling stories, that stuff.
Okay, so okay. What would be with trade, like charisma?
Or Dex. I would take Dex on that.
Okay. Mm.
You paint
It's
it?
not the worst. You paint it. It's not your best work.
Can I roll a d6?
Yeah, you can absolutely
Yeah,
add a d6.
absolutely.
We have
Why not?
We have 15 of them to burn or
Yeah.
something.
Let me just
Take 2.
Yeah.
There's
5. Ooh, 12.
Yep. You realize halfway that you're painting it backwards from the way you wanted to do it. So
Wait, hold
you quickly reverse the whole thing and you start going again.
Bring it around town.
Yep. And it looks quite good. What did you paint it as?
Oh, let's just say. Oh, let me think. A battery.
Minecraft B. No, okay.
Battery.
Nice.
Not like a
That's
companion
awesome.
cube, or oh, okay.
Well, it'd be more like a companion tube at that point.
Like spinning tube.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, you paint a giant battery. It's almost comical the way it looks. So
There we go. No one will even know it's not a battery.
Is there anything else anyone wants to buy while you're here, while you're getting the upgrades installed?
Oh,
What
yes,
is our
smuggler's
ship's?
cult.
Okay, I was going to
Smuggler's
ask what our
cult.
ship's base cost is.
Your ship's base cost, I want to say, is 100 something.
Gosh, it was so long ago.
It was quite a while ago. Free merchant, 500k.
500k. Okay, because there's some engine upgrades I was looking at, but we'll go for a
More
smuggler's hull
engine
useful too.
upgrades. Ooh.
Yeah.
You never have enough engine upgrades
It's true.
according to Eva.
It's true.
My proposal is also smuggler's hold to hide actually Voidal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's a really good point, actually.
This is where we
Well-
store potentially, weapons of mass destruction AIs.
Yeah. So it'd be 12.5k.
2 of them.
For a
Wait,
smuggler's hold.
I thought we kept them in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Either or,
I'm
really.
hoping that one won't
Yeah.
explode for any reason.
12.5k for that. And where was the cost of that? Come on. Ugh. Oh,
Page 97.
because there's the
Econorlex, you said something else besides the smuggler's hold. What was it?
no, I
No?
don't think so.
Okay. I swear I heard something between Hawk's tape and smuggler's hold, but
engine. Yeah, engine.
It's all
an odd
you need,
phrase, I
right?
know.
Engine optimization costs 10% of hull.
Okay, so 50 grand. And then that one especially
Right,
would be
right.
halved because of the
Yeah.
tinker.
Okay, then yeah, I'll definitely go for that one, please.
Okay. So I think that's what, 2 now you've got to that? Because you had a pre-tech installation as well.
Mhm.
Next time on upgrading Shipcast.
Also, emergency thruster boost, maybe. Again, 10% of hull.
I think that was the one you had, wasn't it?
Do we have something about trusters already?
Yeah. I
Oh,
thought
we
you
might have already had that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What else could we do?
Oh no, sorry. This is what you had. You had engine optimization because you used your components.
Oh, okay.
That's what you used it for. You didn't have the emergency thruster boost.
Okay,
Other
then
way
we'll do
around.
it for that one.
Okay.
I just love that in character. Eva would have been like, but it can be more optimized,
Yeah.
surely.
Can it be more efficient? The answer is yes.
Yeah, you had
Always.
to ask.
Always
so yes.
yes.
Okay, speed increased by 1, and then because this may come in handy.
Hmm.
Okay, emergency thruster once for space. Ooh, nice for 3 rounds. Okay. So yeah, if you want to get anything else, now is the time. But otherwise, they install all that. They've got a really quick system in it. It's kind of one of those like, bring your ship in and park it for 6 to 8 hours, and we'll have it all installed, or your money back.
I would also like to maybe do the reinforced armor, 5% of hull. The ship's armor score increases by the fixed skill of the installing engineer. The ship loses 1 point of power and 1 point of mass.
That's quite good. Yeah, I would say that's a good thing to have.
So
And
when
it
did we
yeah, it
say
costs
my
5%.
first set of royalty payments are coming in?
I think that the first royalty payment, it would be probably in half a year kind of thing, because it's over the next 4 years.
But
Definitely
I want
next
it
season.
now.
Keep in mind that
installment.
basically keep in mind that you gave that tech to them like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I would have
So-
expected them to start selling it already.
Well, they've got to replicate it first.
No, you don't. You sell it and then you make it.
Amateurs.
It's the Kickstarter model.
It's a Kickstarter one. Funded in under 3 days.
Yeah.
Are you tired of pesky fault energy getting into your house?
No, you will be.
Yeah.
Bonus, if you donate more, we'll throw in a sticker.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, it costs 10 times as much for a frigate.
Okay. I think that's everything I can see that I want
All right.
now, at least.
So please, at least Ava, make a note of everything you've got installed. I am similarly making a note, but just so we all have it.
So Smuggler's Hold and
Smuggler's Hold
yes.
and a tractor beam. What were the other things you had?
all in
shielding.
the chat there.
Thank you.
Oh, and
The polyceramic.
reinforced.
Reinforced, right. Okay, so they get that all installed within about a day. They're actually quite quick about it. They've got a large robotic crew that helps them with it. And the factory or the shipyard itself is fairly well automated. So they strip the parts out, they put the new parts in, they cover everything back up and reapply some nice paint.
Nice.
And you're basically good to go within a day.
Impressive.
Okay.
They're used to kitting out ships that likely aren't coming back from the surf, or if they are, they're from a caravan fleet, so they're used to kind of scheduling things like that.
So, remind me,
Hmm.
why are we going into the surf?
Are you asking me or your crew?
The crew.
There was these vacuum nerds.
Yeah.
They wanted us to check this location in exchange for the access for to their map.
I hate to be a downer, but don't we have a bit more of a pressing problem?
There's also the fact that I was found on a wreckage not far from here.
Or do you think there's anything left to be seen from that?
I'll also toss a reminder. The reason that the station is interesting is because it doesn't exist in any of the existing channels. A station shouldn't be able to resist the fault energy or the scrap that comes out of it. Shouldn't be able to build anything in the surf. That's why it was interesting.
I couldn't quite remember what that was, so thank you for that.
I mean,
Remember,
my
it seems like
point
it's all connected together.
is maybe we shouldn't do that with 2 potentially explosive AIs on the ship. Assuming what we saw was the effects of one of them.
Don't think we have much of a choice.
There's got to be answers.
Just seems needlessly risky to do that while both of these are on the ship.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Especially the younger one. Because
So
we
what do we
don't know what kind of
propose?
timeline we're working with. That we
Find
find
some empty planet.
pretty much. At least for the younger one, I mean, Voidal we at least know a bit more about. And they know why it would be dangerous for them to leave the box. And they don't want to hurt people. The younger one may have no idea.
Well, that does seem most reasonable thing to take care of that first.
If everything goes well, we should be able to come back for it pretty much straight away. Assuming it hasn't hatched in the meantime and it's still dangerous.
Do we know about some
Good location
Large-
for temporary air storage.
large
the
enough
planet-
piece of rock?
The planet the Cliff's Edge orbits is quite barren and uninhabited.
Yeah. Is it a place like people go though to like
Not,
get?
not really. No, it doesn't have any, as far as you can tell from the brochure they have here. It doesn't seem like it's worth anything to most people. It's just kind of a nice place
Just
to
a-
orbit.
It's just a convenient gravitational force.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
the station is important because of the surf, not because of the planet.
exactly. The planet
just
is
a
just
rock.
handy.
That provides anchor for the station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then occasionally they say, like smugglers might use it, but they pretty much say that about any barren moon. So
Yeah.
Just seems like risk reduction is all.
So yeah,
Alright, so we drop the baby off at the desert planet and
this is starting to feel a little too Star Wars. So
Basically.
which baby are you dropping off on the planet is not a phrase I thought I had to ask today.
I mean,
the
the
one
younger
that
one.
the one that we
the
know
wild
nothing
card.
about.
Okay.
Yeah.
the one that can't talk yet.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're leaving the neonatal AI on the planet.
Look, it's self-sustaining.
I
Don't
know.
guilt trip me about this.
Sorry. Yep. So you take the black box down. You find a
I'm not
nice.
leaving a child in a locked car. Okay.
Mips,
Oh my god.
Mips can't help themselves. But if it wakes up, it will have nobody to answer their questions.
Meeps, we're hopefully not going to be gone very long. And if it hatches, we can't be there anyhow. Because
We'll leave
we'll
a
be
walkie-talkie.
busy.
Can't you ask Voidel about their senses? What what Voidel can perceive? Like, can we leave some kind of thing that the AI will be able to recognize? I would say a note, but I don't know if AI can read when they are born, what if they can see
It
without eyes, and so on.
It doesn't really have eyes. I mean,
Yeah, I
Voidal
know.
can hear, but not really see.
That's why I said ask Voidel.
If we had the conversation, Meeps.
I'm sorry. We
Why
just
don't-
worry.
Why don't we just put like a camera and have it on live stream so you can see when it does hatch?
Sure, we'll set up a GoPro.
If Yurt is around you while you're having the conversation, she would pipe
Yeah.
in, like, we could always just leave something in the box itself, like a piece of code or something.
Yeah,
What if
that's
they
what I
eat-
said.
Yeah,
No,
so
I just wasn't
here's the
sure.
thing. If it hatches, we don't want it to know about us until it's done radiating. The last thing we want is one of those like distress signals again.
Hmm.
Like, hasn't that been the whole thing to go like, hey, if you're gonna hatch, let's do that over there where we're not near it.
But we are coming back here for sure.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, assuming we have a ship and are alive.
So if we are not coming back, we're dead.
I mean, that's the most likely explanation.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So are you leaving any messages or notes or anything with this AI, or are you just kind of plopping it down? Just so I know.
Be very vague, nondescript with no identifications. Be
Hmm.
back soon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Went out for
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
Leaves,
Oh.
leaves,
Went to go
Ouch.
get some milk.
Yeah. Be back
leaves
later.
a jar.
Food in the
Leaves a
fridge.
jar.
Yeah, totally not leaving baby life forms all alone on a desert planet. I'm not trying to guilt you.
Oh.
I'm just
No.
being-
Meeps
Yeah,
leaves a
no,
jar.
of course you're not. No, not at all.
Okay.
Meeps leaves a jar.
A jar.
What's in the jar?
Sleeping fragment of Meeps.
Oh my gosh.
Hibernating.
Oh,
Okay.
Baby meeps.
clever. I like it.
Could we leave that Meeps a little subspace communicator or something, and then
That's
just,
the
No.
whole. No, that's the exact thing we're not doing, right?
Yeah.
well, I was
But-
thinking that like that Meeps could warn us if the thing wakes
No.
up.
It
No,
can
because
because
that Meeps would be susceptible to radiation the same way
Okay, fair.
this Meeps was, right?
But you can always
Oh.
leave, a memory, I presume, in this baby Meeps to tell it what's going on.
Question: can I leave a piece of food by
No,
it
it's-
so if it hatches, it can eat it when it's hungry?
As long as it's in a pressure sealed container, yes, because there's no atmosphere.
All right, got it. A jar of
Cool.
honey.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be if that thing hatches, that has to be
2
the
jars.
most confusing.
Most confusing. Like, oh, I've got sentience and there's jars.
of honey.
And I think one of them's alive.
Let me just take a sip from the one that's like yellowy orange.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sweet.
Just remember which one to sip. That's the real
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't drink
Which
the paint water.
Don't drink the
See,
beeps.
We don't know if it's what it eats. For
Is
sustenance.
it
That's
is
true.
it eat plants, meat, insects,
so you
Air.
leave some offerings
Yeah.
for the baby AI.
sacrifice?
Yeah. I was gonna say sacrifice, but okay. And what do you do now? What's your plan?
To go find that station.
All right. So what I need from you is I do need a roll
Yes.
for starfaring.
That makes sense.
Your DC is probably going to be about, I would say, a 12, because not only are you going into the surf, but you've only got rough coordinates.
Yeah.
You know kind of
Um,
where it should be, but you don't know exactly.
Yep. And I do have like at least some data on the safe channels
Hmm.
as well, if that adjusts anything. But I will go ahead and roll
Yeah, it's
That's
still a very difficult
pilot.
check, but yes.
Yeah. I will open the right window. There it is. Okay. And for good measure,
Mm-hmm.
all right,
All right. 13.
I will use a d6.
Okay. So on a 13, when you engage the cleave drive to go into this, because if you were trying to travel normally, you would be torn apart within hours. Going through the surf, if going through normal space is like driving down a highway, this is akin to trying to careen down a gorge in a sedan.
Yep.
It's like there's a storm outside, and there effectively is. You can see radiation spikes on the sensors, not of fault radiation, but just general kind of radiation. It's like watching lightning go through a cloud or a nebula, and going through hours of this, it feels like someone's just got hold of your ship and is shaking it around and twisting it this way, tossing it, and then something else catching it. You manage to keep it steady for the most part, but
It is actually 2 higher. I forgot to factor.
oh, it
in
is.
the double my pilot skill for
I was wondering. I'm like,
Starfarer.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So with a 15, then you do manage to keep it together. That's good that it's a 15. I won't say why, but you do manage to keep the ship together and in one piece for the most part.
Good.
When
No
you
cracks in
described
the
that,
screen or
that
anything.
reminded me of that one scene from Sunshine. You're like, you're moving behind the rocks.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Good ass. So Dory Captain will buff up those scratches.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. About a day and a half in, you start getting some weird sensor readings. And this is kind of in the area that you think the station should be. So your weird sensor readings. Yeah. Weird in that there is something solid out there, but it looks fuzzy, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Almost like something.
What's the radiation meters doing?
The radiation meters are kind of about the same as you've had. They're not giving you any fault line radiation, but they're giving you the standard kind of bands of radiation, X-rays, gammas, all of that, which your ship is shielded against. But you don't see any fault line radiation where you are. Where it is, there might be. You're not sure. It's too far out to tell. But there's something. Whether it's a structure or an extremely large derelict. If it was a derelict, it would be like a cruiser or bigger. Much bigger than the derelict ship you found. What would you like to do? You could use your, you could roll a sensor check to see if you can see anything. But if you are using active, they have a chance to spot you as well. This is all on page 112, just in case you're curious.
You said day, so we assume it's not dead? Not empty?
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it would be empty.
I'm just laughing at web captioner.
Oh, good. What's it going off on now?
Oh, it was something about a tennis ball, and I have no idea what caused it.
If they have a tennis ball, it's going to be we have had feelings for the day the garden. Okay, sure.
Yeah. You know what? Web captioner poetry has come a long way.
Yep.
There's this occasion I look over and there's something that makes absolutely no sense.
It's just an AI slowly growing from our conversations. So since you are a frigate, you have, oh, hang on, let me check this actually. Ship is, yeah, so it would be oh, they make this so difficult, don't they? I was looking at this the other day. I'm like, oh, I've got it. It's perfect. It's not.
Observer is a frigate, so it's +1.
And the plus means it's a higher check, not a lower check. As confusing as that is.
Or is maybe the left the like bonuses to the check, and then the right is bonuses to the DC?
You would think that. You would definitely think that.
That's
sorry, I'm just losing it in web capture.
Oh, are they going again?
Yeah.
They're both towards the DC, as far as I'm aware. Like the left side is what you are looking through, the right side is what you're looking at, and they are both. Yeah.
Okay, 0 to base.
What was it?
Okay, so yeah, they're both on the check. They're both on the opposed check.
Yeah, so it would be an int program roll. That's what I was looking for in this rigmarole.
Okay,
gotcha.
So +1, -2 for station.
Yep.
You need help with that? Eva?
Was I doing the sensors?
Who knows?
Yeah, sure. I mean, or I can help you.
I thought you were.
I was like, I don't know who's
rattling
doing
off
what.
numbers.
I was trying to work it out, but.
Oh, right. I thought you were entering things.
No.
So did someone say programming though?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
am I
it's a
hearing
program.
things?
It's a program within.
Yeah,
Oh,
I could
I can do
assist with the
that.
programming, but I'm not good at the programming. So if I do an
Okay.
assist roll.
Yeah.
So -1 overall. Submit. 5. So
you do still have D6s. I think
Let's
we've
have a
used
D6 on
3
that.
so far.
Yeah.
So 46. Okay, there you go. 10.
10, nice. So that's a
On my assist.
+2, I think.
+2?
Yeah. I had to get my numbers right.
Oh, that is terribly
nice.
low.
Well, that is an 11 still.
No, it's not.
With
The
plus the
+2's
2
already
from. Oh, it is. Oh, bugger me. Okay.
I'm spending another
oh,
D6.
+1.
May as well.
We've got them, yeah.
There's plenty of them out there.
11.
Now
That's
it's
an
11,
11. That's an
yeah.
11.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's better.
Now, the real
Wow,
question
that
I
was
have
a
for you.
terrible roll for me.
The question I have for you: are you using active or passive sensors?
Passive.
Passive. Okay, so that would be a 13 then total.
Okay.
So with passive, it does make it a harder check, but with a 13, you can do it. So when you start scanning out, you do get a stronger image of what's going on there, and you've noticed that the reason it was fuzzy is partly radiation, but partly because there were some smaller ships flying around it. It was giving it kind of a larger, weirder shape than it should have been.
So swarmed by flies?
Sort of. Not so much swarmed, but there are a few, looks like probably fighter class ships flying around it in a couple of squadrons. And then it looks as though there is another frigate class ship close to it. Not docked, but just off of it. The station itself is just smaller than Cliff's Edge, so it's pretty big. But with the amount of ships around it, it's unlikely it's that populated. It's also unlikely it's that populated because it's in the fault. So
Yeah.
But I will say with the 13, the other thing you notice is it does give the same signal as the Hab did in terms of what it's made of. It does seem like it has that gold ceramic plating to it. I'm curious what the fuckers was about now.
The robots, probably.
Oh, no, not that kind of signal. Sorry. Should be clear.
What?
Now I'm confused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because the last place was made out of fungus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we said, oh, so it's made of the same thing. And I'm like, oh, so fungus then.
I heard
Probably ceramic.
okay.
Yeah.
This is where the
I'm with you,
Australian
Jay.
comes in. I heard fuckers.
No, I'm
What?
sorry. Even I have like, some regulation on my swearing.
No, I heard fungus.
You gotta put
Okay.
some money in the
Okay.
swear jar.
No.
No,
For
it was fungus. Fungus. Definitely.
The fungus among us. Okay. So
Fungus among-
Europeans
That-
agree with me, okay?
That could
I'm
be,
totally fine with that.
yo, that title could be like a one shot, The Fungus Among Us.
Don't tempt me. Yeah, so it's got the it's not a fungi made one. It looks like it's more just full metal. But it does have that metal gold ceramic covering to it, like the Hab did. So you're still a ways out, and I do mean a ways. You're not detected as far as you can tell. What would you like to do?
I'm just struggling with the fact that there's people on that station.
Yeah.
Do we want to
that's
change
unexpected.
our like echo back to them? Use our mask.
When you've been detected, you can do that if you want. Currently, they haven't detected you as far as you can see.
Do we want to say hello?
I don't
I mean-
know.
That
mean, there's
is
quite a
one
few
thing we
fighters.
weren't prepared for.
And
We
we usually
fought-
cover all our
Am I-
bases.
Okay. This is going to I am jumping off the deep edge here. Will that prayer you've been talking about, maybe that's the
Yeah.
message to send? Because that group were obsessed with the ceramics, right? And they've been connected to the whole fault thing, and we don't know where they are, but they. Sorry, Dark Horror distracted me. I mean, it's probably worst case scenario that think we're weird.
Yeah. If things weren't stacking up the way they were, I'd say that would be a bad idea. But you're right. They
It seems reasonable.
I can never tell if Autumn is actually on the right track or if she has gone completely out of left field.
Yeah. No, I think
If they
you might be
think
right.
if they think we're weird, then at least we're honest.
Yeah. We have
least one
said
has the right
stranger
idea of
things
us,
to
yeah.
people.
Yep. And I guess would it be like a text message type message or
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's up to you.
hail them like
I
or
I don't
just
know.
transmit it blindly and see what like how they react, or specifically try to hail them.
I mean, I think if anyone has the chance to communicate with them, assuming they are who we think they are, then it might be you. Maybe do what feels right.
Oh, that's open-ended. I think we hail them.
Okay. What would you like to say? You bring up the hail, and it's static for the most part, but you see that you're connected at least.
Do we have a name for the station? I don't
None
remember
you
if
can see.
we would have been given one. Okay.
No, there wasn't.
No, and they said it's a derelict, so
Right.
they didn't have decent data
Mhm.
at all.
Okay. Then wow. Okay. The name of our ship flew out of my head, but I got it. I'm back. This is the Ventus hailing whoever's out there.
Roger Ventus. What's your business?
Just a lost soul in search of light.
Are you a follower?
Our followers welcome.
As long as proof is given, of course. Recite to me our passage.
All turns to naught in the dark, and that without light is lost. A pair in the dust alone they must part. Deep within nothing, they will find the heart.
You'll be screened on entry. Head to Bay 2. We'll send an escort. And you hear the comms click off.
Well, we're in the right place.
Oh boy.
So your sensors pick up one of the squadron of fighters breaks off from its patrol and starts heading out towards you. Do you start heading towards the station?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're heading towards the station, they link up with you. Essentially, they kind of go forward and to the starboard of you, and they escort you in. As you start getting closer to it, the weather, quote unquote, in this area of the fault is pretty wax and wane. You've come in during a quieter period of it, but you know it can get pretty fraught with storms. But the station just sits there almost unaware of its surroundings. It doesn't seem like it's damaged much at all. The frigate that you saw looks as though it's a large kind of slab of a frigate, and you see small pylons sticking out from one side of it. And you can see one of the fighter squadrons refueling, it looks like, or repairing. And the fighters, you notice, also have the gold ceramic plating on them. It looks as though they have to get it reapplied fairly often. You can see a lot of dust and particles of it on your sensors. But as you're guided in, you are guided to land on Dock 2, which is just big enough for your frigate to fit in. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. But as you get in, the airlock door is shut behind you, and the pressure and the atmosphere starts to come back on. You hear a docking clamp kind of clung onto the bottom of the ship, and you hear a request for comms.
Oblige.
Ventus, we're attaching a boarding platform. Please stand by.
Standing by.
So you hear a heavy whir, thunk, gong, 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 and then you can almost hear it and feel it through the hull as it connects with your ship, right where your kind of entryway is. Clear to proceed, Ventus. Please come out. No weapons, no aggressive movements.
Mips is waiting at the doors.
Okay.
Curious.
Mips is like, aggression? What's that? I mean, yeah, I'll pick myself up, head towards the door.
Okay. Does everyone head towards the doors?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
What exactly is the plan here, guys?
I don't think we have one.
Oh, good.
Go with the flow.
If you would have liked to have
good.
discussed one on the flight in, you did
No,
have
I don't think we do.
I don't think that would have helped.
I don't think we could have
It
really.
wasn't fair.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So
Our plans tend to evolve naturally.
they sure do. So you open your door, and the umbilical is about 30 feet long. It looks as though it's made of probably about the same hab material as the other habs you found at Dinai and Rinty, kind of a fungi style. It looks as though it can inflate, though. So it looks as though it's kind of blossomed out from where the dock is. And when you get to the other side, you see people in nondescript uniforms. They don't look like guard uniforms or military uniforms. They almost look more like clerks or...
Oh, I do not like this one bit.
It's not religious by look of it, but they look like people who would be at a kiosk almost. And they all have a patch of a nebula on one arm or another. You see almost every race represented here: Jintai, Hawks, humans, Polidi. They're all here, and a few of them are milling around, but you do see a small group of them kind of waiting to receive you. Welcome, travelers. What brings you to our station here in the middle of the fault?
Mips wants to
Seek
say
answers.
something, but he allows Will to lead this one.
Hmm.
We seek answers to some pretty troubling mysteries.
Many come here seeking answers. We will tell you what we know. First, we would like to screen you to see that you have no weaponry on you.
Could you see Eva like
Eva very
Dum-dum-dum-dum.
reluctantly left her weapon on board the ship.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
very reluctantly.
Did anyone bring a weapon with them?
I have 2 rolls of Hawk's tape on me. Inside me.
It's all the weapon you need.
Nothing you can't do with Hawk's tape.
Nope.
I think only thing, no, she wouldn't have done that. She doesn't.
Okay.
She wouldn't have had the time. So no.
Okay.
I was very tempted to bring a pepper, but no.
Oh my god. When going into a fight, don't bring a knife. Bring a pepper and tape.
Yep.
That sums up
I
this
love
group in
this.
a nutshell.
It's so good. So they scan you, they screen you. It's not invasive by any means. They just kind of run you through like a TSA checkpoint, essentially, minus the TSA. And after about 10 or so minutes of the screening and a few different questions, where have you been, your name, that kind of thing, they welcome you into the station proper. And inside, it's not bustling, but it feels almost more like a home than a station. It feels like a colony to a degree. You could see some people tending gardens on one side of the station. You can see another group hauling, large pieces of machinery. It looks active, but not very busy, like a village almost.
Okay.
Yeah. Please come this way. We may sit here, and there's a kind of like a gathering area. Picture like a drive-in theater, but without the chairs. Okay. So there's two large screens on either side, and they seem to be displays of someone giving a speech or a sermon or something like that. The words are kind of your standard, like non-denominational faith sermons, like talking about togetherness and, love thy neighbor, that kind of thing. Fairly mundane, honestly. Even for Autumn, most of this isn't zealoty.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
I am not listening, and my leaves are rustling with slight nervousness.
Okay. Again, never a phrase I thought I'd hear, but it's very descriptive. Right. So the Hawks that was leading you down offers you to kind of sit on some rugs or cushions and introduces themselves. My name is Ixlis. You may call me Ix or Lis, whichever you prefer. I am a speaker for the host. What questions do you have for us?
That is a list.
Many come here with lists.
What is the heart?
The heart is, well, it is something. We don't know what it is, but we do know that it is immense. It is something that lives in the fault, but isn't affected by the fault. We search for it so that we might know it.
Is that sounds
vague?
That is a word, yeah, that I would use. Yeah, vague. Is it a metaphor or a being?
When our group was first established, many centuries ago, the prevailing theory was that something was left of the human homeworld. Something. The records aren't exact on what. But there was a hope that there was something left there, whether it was technology or something far greater. No one can say. I myself don't believe it to be a metaphor. I believe that there is indeed something quite literal in the middle of the fault, somewhere. As to what it is or what it can do, I know not. Many come here and are disappointed with that answer, but many more continue on wanting to know.
Has anyone come close?
that would preclude someone coming back to tell us. Unfortunately, not one of our members in the centuries that we have been in existence has ever returned from the fault. Neither of the pair ever returns or gets near enough to let us know where they are or where they've been.
Does anyone else have questions? I need to process something.
So, in the middle of the fold, it's old human home.
Somewhere. The old stories go that the patch is because of humans. Has this knowledge not been shared? We're fairly secluded here, I'm afraid.
Was human civilization advanced in terms of artificial intelligence?
The records we have would not indicate as such, but they are minimal at best. Most of the records that existed at the time were lost in the expanding of the fault. But what we do know is the humans were sufficiently advanced enough to have pioneered some kind of faster than light travel. We're not sure what, but it is supposed that that is what caused the patch in the first place.
How do you all stay out here?
Sorry, was that how or why?
First how, then why.
First how, then why? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're self-sufficient, now at least. It was tough going for quite a while. But we are self-sufficient now. We grow our own food, recycle our own water, and otherwise, oddly enough, the fault provides. As to why, we have established ourselves here to further ourselves into the fault, to make finding the heart easier, or at least less dangerous. And now we find that a solution has presented itself.
Oh?
Your sensors might have noticed it. The strange gold signal you would be getting from our station and ships.
Old ceramic.
Yeah.
I believe the market is calling it tartalite after the planet it was discovered on. It seems to have a strange resistance to some of the worst aspects of the fault. And we believe that with this, we may well be one step closer to finding the heart.
All that's left is to know where it is.
And to get there. Knowing the goal is one thing, but traversing, that is an entirely different battle.
Is there something else alive in the vault except the heart that you know of?
I wouldn't even say that the heart is alive, myself. There are others that believe that the heart is alive, that it is a literal thing. I don't believe anything could live in this derelict wasteland.
Okay, let me rephrase this question to a version that doesn't depend on definition of living.
Don't need to hash that discussion out again.
Is there something else of interest in the vault? Or, oh, I know. assuming that heart is capable of contacting with you, is there something else capable of contact that you know of? Have you ever been contacted by default?
Contacted by the fault? You presume that the fault could contact. It is a vast radiation plane.
Of course, that was a shortcut for something from the fault.
Nothing has ever tried to communicate with us from the fault. Have you been contacted?
Do we give them Autumn's basic entry level TED talk?
No, she doesn't.
No.
Fair.
No.
It's your talk, so I'm happy not to either.
It's good. Like, I swear, if there were like key words that would set off Autumn's like red alert, she's heard all of them.
Yep.
We thought that the answers you might have to our questions would provide us with more words to phrase more questions and more answers. Because I can't say yes and I can't say no to your question.
Which is interesting. Would you be willing to tell me more about this?
That would require having words. We hoped we would learn here.
When you say you were or weren't contacted by the fault or something in it, what exactly do you mean?
That the ships come out of it changed. That's common knowledge.
We've had no record of our ships ever returning from the fault.
No, like wrecks flying out of the fault. Isn't it? Happening often. I turn to the crew. The vacuum guys told there is a lot of wreckage that can be that they have an entire teams for dismantling them.
I will tell you, it's not exactly common knowledge, unless you're a vacuum nerd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there
Mips doesn't believe in hiding information.
You wouldn't happen to keep a list, would you?
Of course we keep a list. Every ship that leaves this berth or any other berth into the fault is recorded for the records.
In more sentences I never thought I'd say. Is God's teeth on that list?
We can certainly look. I can't say as I am familiar with the name, but I've only been here for 3 decades myself. If you would wait here a moment, I can go and check the ledgers. So they trundle off in true Hawks fashion, and they leave you in the meeting area. You're all kind of away from the other groups.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that everywhere we go, we have questions, we always have more answers than the ones we have questions for?
Will's just sort of sitting there waiting for someone to yell at him. Because, like, yeah, you potentially just started something.
I mean,
Autumn's not saying anything, but she is on high alert
Okay.
mm-hmm.
in every single way she possibly can.
Autumn, can you roll me a notice?
Autumn, you're paranoid.
Just since
We
you're
wanna roll
saying
me
that
a
you
notice?
are, yeah. Well, she's the only one that's looking around.
Can I spend a d6?
Absolutely, you can spend a d6 on that.
I don't even know that we need to ask.
No,
if we
you
can
do
spend
not
one.
need to ask.
We just need to ask how many are left.
Yeah, exactly.
How many are left?
I believe 8 at this point. It should be on the
Okay, I'm
stream as well,
spending 2.
but I'm not sure if we've kept
I
up.
don't
with
think
that.
it's.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not sure it's ticking
That's
down.
all good.
Okay, so that's a 16 now.
So with a
It's
16,
the one scenario where she would.
it's true.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
She'd be all eyes. So you're looking around, you're keeping your head kind of on a swivel without looking obvious about it, I presume. And you notice that nobody has looked at you since you came in. Like not a one. Even when you sat down, even when the Hawks left, nobody has looked away from the monitors. Even the people gardening or moving stuff, they don't seem to make eye contact with each other or with anyone else, including you.
Do I detect any psychic activity?
You do.
Coming from the screen.
Oddly enough, no. It's coming from a few different points in the room. You sense it, 1 in the gardens, 2 over by the doors you came through, and then a 4th one kind of just off in the crowds there. They feel mild, but they're definitely there.
Can we see Can we see what's on the screen?
Yep. So on the screens, I'll do that first. On the screens, it is just kind of, for lack of a better term, religious propaganda, but like washed out. You're seeing mostly words. It doesn't look like anyone's speaking, but it's just kind of a scrawling text of script, it looks like. Basically saying, like, we will find the heart, things will be better, we will be lauded as champions. It strikes you as very weird religious text, but it doesn't strike you as like, yes, we will crush the unbelievers, that kind of thing. It just feels super washed out, like very tonally neutral. As for seeing them, I'd say with a 16, you can see most of them. The one that is off in the crowd is behind the screen, so you'd have to get up and see them. But the 2 by the door look to be, for lack of a better term, the guards, like they're standing kind of post next to the doors. And they're wearing kind of standard nondescript uniforms. One's a polity, one is a human. The one over in the gardens is a Jin Tai. And they do stand out now that you notice them.
I've put in chat what I'm doing.
Okay.
Picking one of them.
Which chat? Gotcha.
Roll 20.
Sorry, I'm like, there's so many chats. Trace back.
I need to be right back very quickly. Sorry.
No worries. As an instant action, they can see and hear through this. Oh, that's cheeky. Okay. So spend your effort.
Yep, I did.
Okay. Senses of a user.
This is the first time I've seen psychic stuff linked to one person who wasn't,
Mhm.
actively talking to me.
You see some senses. Interesting. Okay. So when you use this, are you using it on anyone in particular, or just in general?
Picking one of the hotspots.
Okay. 1, 2, or 3.
The one that's not an obvious guard.
Okay. So we'll go with the one in the garden, is not an obvious guard. Once you get kind of into their senses, you feel like it's a dampening thing, almost like a weighted blanket of telepathy. Just kind of keeping everything sedate, like smoothing the waves of an ocean.
Oh boy.
I'm discreetly going to walk over to Will, put my hand on his shoulder and say, do I have your permission?
Will's definitely a little nervous, but not because of what he assumes that Autumn is going to do, but why it's a necessity. But he'll nod and say yes.
I'll very discreetly forge a psychic link with, psionic link with Will and share that piece of information.
That's weird.
And I'll also share what I've noticed about how no one is looking at us, and they are absolutely absorbed with what they're doing.
So they're basically drugged, as I understand it, like psychically dulled.
It's pretty adequate, yeah, pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Any idea how we can not get caught up in that?
Do I have any idea how we might not get caught up in that?
As far as you can tell, you haven't been affected by it.
Have any of my companions?
Not that you can see. It's a pretty obvious effect, so you would notice it pretty much right away.
It's a pretty obvious effect, noticeable with a 16.
Noticeable if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Which we do now.
So I don't. It hasn't started. I don't know. We're not part of it yet, and I don't want to be.
Neither do I. We should, if we're not already, probably be ready to run.
Or to discreetly leave. You need to come up with an excuse as to why you know the name of that ship.
So a few minutes later, the Hawks comes trundling back into the meeting area and presents you with a small data pad. It looks as though it just has the one piece of information. It's more like a data slate, if anything, kind of like a visible USB stick. Here is the information for God's teeth. May I ask why this particular ship? Was there someone you knew on it?
No, someone I knew found it. Or at least we think they found it.
Where was it found? This is news to us.
Not too far from here. I don't have the exact coordinates, but
that's a pity. To find a ship of ours that had returned from the fault would be a boon.
What do you mean?
The data it would return would allow us to map where to go or where not to go. Imagine it as sending flaming arrows, as your kind did, into the dark. But you are blind. You know not where they go. There is no way for you to know where they go. When none of our ships return, we have no way of knowing if the path is correct or if we have erred.
Question to GM, not in character yet. So that orange blossom, we had no information where was that ship from, so we don't know that this wasn't their ship. We can ask as well.
You could, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That's probably worth asking.
Yeah, so maybe you could check the name Orange Blossom as well. We thought that
We did actively find that one.
we thought that when you say nobody is returning, you merely meant that no ship is returning with them and their crew intact. But we thought you were aware of the wrecks coming out.
Any wrecks that have ever been discovered have not been reported to us, and we have had no intel on them.
So can you check if Orange Blossom was one of your ships?
Certainly. It shouldn't be but a moment. God's Teeth took some digging. Was the Orange Blossom a more recent?
Yes.
Very
Within
well.
the last couple of months.
It shouldn't take too long then. Please excuse me. So the Hawks heads back off in the same direction.
Do we want to just come up with more random names and get them going back and forth?
Why?
While we figure out a plan.
Okay, what about the potato salad?
Have you heard of the chrysanthemum? So what do you do?
Why you humans have, well, no, he isn't human, no. Why the galactic community does not share info more freely?
This is a
Like
large galaxy, I guess.
But
It's kind of difficult for information to percolate.
Like these guys and vacuum nerds are like two separate pieces of the same puzzle that would make a pretty picture together.
Autumn is maintaining the connection to Will. And she's especially on the lookout for if anyone is trying to, because I can see psychic activity.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone is trying to trace it, if anyone is even looking at it or listening, and that's been active from the start, because again, I am on
full alert.
Yeah.
Okay, I will keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I think Eva's on full alert as well. Just very, very nervous.
You can also roll me. Anyone else that wants to roll me a notice, you can do so as well.
Okay.
But it's going to be pretty hard to notice.
Oh, we are Breeber. So how many d6s is left? That is good moment to
8.
ask when everybody's rolling.
8 of them are.
I think I'll take it. I think I'll take a 10.
Yeah. Okay. With a 10, you do notice that no one's really looked at you.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem odd because even looking around, like when this Hawks left again, no one really looked away from the screens or from what they were doing. Everyone was very kind of focused. And with a 12, it's a little quiet. Like there's no one talking. There's no murmurs between anyone.
I don't think anyone does anything until they're ordered to do so.
I'm just very discreetly turning towards Ava, and one of my branches, almost like a coincidence, just does that.
I'm just trying to figure out how we get the answers we actually want instead of just more mysteries.
You'll hear this as a psychic message, and she's going to say, I'm sorry, Will. This is a cult. They're not going to give you anything for free.
Are they though?
Yes.
Aren't cults generally wrong? This is pretty. There's some credence here.
This is suspicious.
Like we.
This is all a psychic conversation. You can't hear any of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's often just enough truth to lure people in, and enough promise of answers to sound convincing. And that if you only look long enough, all will be revealed.
Why don't we just go look for the damn thing ourselves?
Like go back to that. Oh, sorry, psychic.
I think it's better than revealing too much to these people. The more they think we know, the more they'll try to lure us in to get that knowledge and reveal none in return.
But if we know that, why don't we just make them think it's working?
Because they're very good. You won't notice if it is working until it's too late.
My head hurts.
GM, do we have some stuff from Orange Blossom still on board?
Yeah, the Hawks does come back. Do you mean stuff like that you found?
Yeah, we took some things. I remember.
Well, the fighter, for instance.
Except the fighter.
So the Hawks returns with another data slate. This one was much easier to find, although it's not one of ours. It seems as though this was reported as a ship coming out of the fault, but we have no record of it ever leaving our berths.
Oh, okay. So that was common knowledge. Okay. So maybe the other ships were just lost in the fault, but they weren't yours.
It's entirely possible.
That was a mistaken assumption on our part. Sorry.
That's perfectly understandable. Trying to cut your way through the fault has been a shortcut for decades, if not centuries. And now and then, ships do get lost. Was there anything else you had questions about?
Yes, but it may be shaping up to be a journey we need to take ourselves.
Roll me a talk.
Sure, this is gonna go well.
Psychic reply here is just a very loud sigh when you say that.
Talk roll. D6 is prepared because of that a minus
Mhm.
1.
You got 7 left.
Can I help just by having prepared him for this?
I would love to, but you would have to actually speak to help on this one.
Okay.
Int or wisdom? Or
I
charisma?
would say
I guess.
wisdom on
Okay.
this one, but you could use charisma as well.
All right. Well, wisdom, charisma are the same, but that's a 6. Gonna go ahead and use them while we got them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please do.
9
A
total.
9. Okay.
You want one more, maybe?
Would you like one more? Would you like one more? You got 6 left.
I don't know if I want to.
I feel like this is important.
All right, I'll do it. 14 total.
Okay. That's good. If it is, as you say, a journey you must prepare for yourself, then I wish you well. But do take caution. There aren't many in the range that take kindly to our ilk, unless they also believe they see us as mad or misguided.
Yes, I've bumped up against that that thought.
This great branch on the shoulder, just like, me?
Shouldn't be.
If there is nothing else we can help you with, then is there anything that we can do for you?
I have a thought, but I know that Autumn will hate me.
You do still have a psychic link. You could always ask.
Yeah. So psychically, I assume you wouldn't want me to ask for shielding.
We know which planet it's made on.
True, but knowing what we know, it's very possible that Biff is in on the game anyway. So how much difference does it matter which one we ask?
A lot.
A lot.
Everyone else is like, oh,
yeah.
wow.
At that, Will just says, no, but thank you.
Certainly. Well, you're always welcome here. I wish you safe travels, and should we cross paths again, I should very much like to hear about your contact that you've had.
Or haven't had.
Or haven't heard.
It's literally the entire thing Autumn has said since they stepped foot on this thing.
So the Hawks kind of gestures with one of its many feet, and you, Autumn, you feel a ping of psychic activity, not on you, but as you feel it, you notice one person from either side of you get up to help kind of escort you, is what it looks like, back towards your ship.
I'm monitoring it for now, but nothing else.
Yep.
Okay. So they escort you back towards your ship. It's a fairly mundane procedure, as eerily quiet as it is. Now that you're looking for it, you notice even the people that were scanning you, everything else like that, they walk around with purpose but no communication. They don't look at each other. There's no cues. And you get all the way back to your ship. The two that were escorting you stay with the Hawks, and they kind of wave you off from the umbilical. And you're back in your ship.
We make not too obvious haste to leave.
Okay. You go. Yeah.
That's in character. Do you sense any influence on the ship?
I'm still scanning as much as I can.
I would say no. You don't sense anything on the ship.
I'm also discreetly going to ask Yurt to run diagnostic sensors. And every fucking sensor we have.
Okay.
And I'm going to start my pre-flight
And I'll
checklist.
bloody help her.
Okay,
Yeah,
roll me an assist.
and cold
That's programming, right?
Yeah.
and these data pads are going to the cold box for a moment.
12.
Okay, so that's +2. Okay. So it takes a bit. It takes about like 15, 20 minutes to do the full diagnostics, which is enough time for you to undock and kind of leave through the docking bay. And the same squadron comes back to escort you kind of roughly back to where you were out in the surf. And about that time that the escort leaves, roughly, Yurt tells you that it doesn't look like there's anything different. Yeah, I think we're clean.
We need to monitor everything for the next 24 hours minimum.
Okay, yeah, I'll set up a code for it.
Someone check on Voidal.
I mean, I can't talk with it, but sure. So, is anyone else checking on Voidal?
I would be the moment I trust that Yurt is still running sensors. I'll probably join Will, realizing that they can't actually talk with it.
Yeah.
I want to join in Vernal's will.
Yeah. I said someone, I really meant all.
Yeah.
That psionic specialty is really becoming useful.
It sure has. Yeah, so you go down to the smuggler's hold, you pull Voidal's crib out of the hold. And what do you say?
What do you want me to say?
Oh, I literally meant check on him to see if like they found him, if anything's different about him. Like we were just in a heavily psychically influenced
Yep.
space.
Checking
So
all the external things first, including full sensor readings. Anything externally?
Nothing externally, no.
Nothing on the sensors?
Nope.
Nothing on radiation?
Nope.
All right. Calling Voidal.
All right. Boop, boop, boop. Hello?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. What's happening?
Goddamn got me.
Is anything different? Thought I'd
No.
check in on you.
No, everything's the same.
Okay. Can I sense if an AI is lying to me? When we are psychically linked?
It's a very good question. I would say about as much as you could tell if someone was lying to you psychically. With an AI this sentient, you think you could. I would say it doesn't seem like Voidal's lying to you, though. They just seem really genuine, like, yeah, everything's the same as when you left.
Has anyone else talked to you?
No. But I feel like we moved, didn't we?
Yeah, we're in a ship.
But where's the ship?
It's in a different location. We've traveled quite a bit.
It feels warmer.
That makes sense.
Does?
When do you think I'll get out of my box?
We're working on it. There's a few different ways that we're considering.
Okay.
Well, just thought I'd check in on you.
Thank you.
We might be moving somewhere colder for a little while.
Oh. Okay. As long as we can come back to where it's warm.
I have a feeling we might.
Okay.
And I'll break that link.
Okay.
Did we move closer to the fault in general?
You're in the fault.
I mean,
Pretty
we're in
much,
it.
yeah. Like compared, because
yes.
how much? Yeah.
It would be like going from like a non-coastal city to a coastal city. Like you're kind of like in the water, so to say. Like you're definitely in the fault itself. You're just not very far in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Will and I'm gonna say I think it wants to go home.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get there.
Ceramics?
Get us out into the black and we'll call Biff.
Yeah.
And I will pilot us out of the vault.
Okay. Make me another check. Should be the last one, I think. Don't forget to add double your pilot score.
Oh, we need to pick up the baby as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
that's
Peter's going to murder
that's a
us.
cliff's edge, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where we're heading, but
Yeah.
out of the vault first.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just mentioning that because otherwise
12.
I'll be accused of
And I used another d6
I see. I was just about to say.
because a 7 was not gonna happen.
7 was not going to cut it, or it would. So with a 12, it's shaky.
That's the minimum I could roll.
I know. You're literally going into a radiation patch, so it's shaky. I'm going to roll. This is more or less inconsequential, but you will take 1 ship damage.
Okay.
Just to your hit points.
We can handle that.
Yeah. You avoid the worst of it, but the overall wear and tear does strip kind of bits off your ship as you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, you make it to Cliff's Edge intact, and what do? We're just about done here, I think.
Yeah. So we sent an away team to pick up the tiny AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to see a man about a horse, and by a man I mean I actually don't remember what race Biff is, and by
Biff's
a horse I mean okay, so I do mean a man, and by horse I mean ceramic plating.
They're very similar. Yeah. Okay, so you ring up Biff. Hello.
Hey Biff, how's it going?
Sorry, who is this?
This is Willem of the Ventus. I've worked for you in the past.
Oh yeah, right.
Tartalus, yeah.
Yeah, that pad group. Yeah. How's the ship working out for you?
Oh, it's great. Looking to do some upgrades on the shielding though, and your name came up in conversation.
Well, I don't know what kind of shielding I could offer you. I don't really deal in that.
You kind of do. We need some of that. Was it tartalite? Was that what it was referred
Tartalite,
to?
yeah.
Yeah. We need to get our hands on some tartalite.
Oh, well, it's funny you say that, because when you came in and took care of Rekis and all that, well, someone came in and bought the rights from me. It was a hell of a deal, too.
Can I get their name? Even though I already know their name. Or suspect their name.
I'm actually looking through my notes and trying to figure out where the hell their name went.
Oh, okay.
But local business dealer here on Tartarus. Yeah, she came in and
Oh, okay.
hell of a deal. Yeah, set me up for quite a while, I'd say. Made some nice investments with it. Yeah, I'll get you your information. Yeah, she's
Oh wait, is that Golden?
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, Golden. Yeah.
Mm.
All
You're
right.
on decent terms with her, right?
Decent, yeah.
Yeah. We need the hookup.
So yeah, you get the information. Sorry, my brain just crashed there.
It's okay.
You get the information for Golden, and you can ring her up if you want. Trying to find a quote here as well while I'm doing this.
Okay.
The next major source of income we have is in about 5 months.
Mm.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to do something to pay it off if she even agrees to a deal.
Well, we didn't spend all of our money, so we've still got.
I still have a little bit over $3,000.
So do you share that information about Beef and Golm?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm assuming it's a sort of Star Trek communication. Where
Yeah,
it's
that's-
out
You
loud.
can always
Yeah.
patched in. Yeah.
That doesn't check out to us. If how old that base looked? We just left a few days ago.
That base, if you had to guess, because it's hard to tell with all the radiation and weather, probably about 50, 60 years old.
How old was the plating?
Plating looked newer. Probably in
Newer,
the
but
last,
not a month old, because
No.
the month at all older.
probably only about a decade old at most.
Well, power bonuses have come and gone.
No. Look, if Golm had enough money to pay off Beef entire business, once Beef took over Reki's entire business, why Gold didn't pay off Reki's instead?
Mm.
I don't think Regis was selling.
No. Where did those guys took the plating from?
I mean, whoever was selling it a decade ago.
Reki's
Yes,
held the
potentially.
business. Maybe Reki's had the reputation of a person notoriously hard to make deals with. Maybe because Reki's didn't want to sell the plating at all. Maybe because
Just prevent
Reki's
others
was
from accessing it, you mean?
Reki's
Right.
was holding entire load of plating for somebody else.
The host.
Maybe Rekis was supplying these people and these people only.
Exactly.
Well, that is two purposes. One is to supply the people you do want to have it, and one is to prevent others from accessing it. The question is, why
both
you
could
think
be
Golm
possible.
is working with Rekus to get it back to? Because Golm hated Rekus, didn't they?
I just there are many possibilities. We just imply one thing, that this purpose for the plating was known for longer than Rekis is out of business.
Yeah.
Yet not to Biff, not to us.
It's possible
Or
that
us.
they've all known about it.
Biff wouldn't sell plating enabling exploration of fault.
As far as we know.
I don't think it matters who was selling it. We got to find who is selling it.
Whether
If
they're willing
No,
to
we
supply
just-
us now.
The thing is, we don't think we just we just want to point out that one thing, that the plating enabling exploration of fault was known for far longer than this thing was on the market.
Yeah.
And Rekis was possibly the only source of it.
Yes.
And now it's gold.
Now it's Golm. And
the
since Golm possibly had resources to pay off Beef or Rekis, then it feels like somebody else is pulling the strings here.
Well, I think one, it's a source of income for everyone. It's a viable resource to have. Two, if Rekis was motivated by religious purposes, he wouldn't have wanted to sell to Golm or anyone. That's why Biff had to move in the way we did. Biff has no emotional attachment as far as we know to this thing, so Golm could far easier have made a deal with Biff than with Rekis. The question is if Golm's interest is purely financial, if it is
That's
fanatical.
exactly what we mean.
Regardless.
Rekis and Golm are sort of just working for somebody, for the same person.
Maybe, but when we spoke to her, she was interested in getting Rekis out of power. If she had been purely fanatically motivated, it shouldn't really matter who is sourcing it, provided it gets to where it needs to go. I think it is still worth inquiring with Golm, because for the simple reason that we've just told the main hub that we are considering going into the vault, and we know gold plating is needed. That's not suspicious.
Okay,
That's exactly what we said we would do.
We just don't like something about this.
Yeah, there's something suspicious here.
Power shift.
Absolutely.
Everything went very easy and nothing really happened. Because the control of the substance is still where it was, more or less.
Depends. We don't
Physically speaking.
know. I mean, yes, we haven't moved the planet.
Okay. We can't tell what's wrong. We just know something feels odd. That's all.
I am the first person to want to investigate stuff like that, but either she sells plating to us or she doesn't.
Yep, once we ask questions and they are answered or not, both cases we know more.
All we can do is fly straight.
Ask about selling us the platings.
Dodge the space junk as it comes.
We're considering going into the vault. We had been told by the hub that a certain type of ceramic was really good at protecting against radiation we might encounter there. It's the truth. We just learned it in a different order.
We will see.
I don't know. Punch in Golm's contact info.
Okay. So it takes a minute to connect, but eventually you see a middle-aged woman appear on the screen, and I think Ava was the only one that actually met her.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yes, can I help you?"
we're looking to purchase some tartalite, and we hear you're the one to talk to.
Yes, I can certainly hook you up with that. What amount were you looking for?
Enough to plate a frigate.
Okay.
Free merchant class.
Free merchant class, and so you're kind of tapping away off to the side. And is this a good number to contact you at?
Yep.
Perfect. I'll have one of our sales representatives give you the information. Sorry, I am the shareholder, but not one of the sales representatives. They can give you a more accurate quote.
Thank you very much.
Of course. She ends the call. And about
Looks like they're willing to sell.
About 5-10 minutes later, you get a little communique sent to you. It's basically like an invoice, and it tells you for a frigate free merchant class, you would need about 750,000 credits for full plate.
That's a lot of money to raise.
I have royalties incoming, and we seem to be capable of finding work. Maybe it's a longer term goal.
I guess so. I guess we go and find some work.
With that all said and done, are you picking up the baby?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, let's pick up the baby.
Pick up the child.
The baby.
They'll murder me if we don't. So
It's
yes.
true.
They are our new son, and they will be treated as our new son.
So the away team that goes down, you find the AI pretty much as you left it. Scanning it reveals that it has in fact grown, but it doesn't seem to have burst its shell or anything like that. And the baby meeps and the jar of honey are as you left them, though admittedly colder, as there's no atmosphere.
Yeah.
How much has it grown?
Let's say like 10%. It seems to be an exponential growth because there's more of it to grow, but it's, if you had to hazard a guess as to how large it's going to get, with the size of the container you've built it for, it could probably last another like month at most.
So we need a bigger container, ideally plated.
Are there any traces of radiation spikes?
Nope.
MIPS would like to do the test, the comparative test that started the entire thing of making the detectors of
Right.
because that's comparison is how it started. The
Comparing the control.
Yeah.
Okay. You run through the battery of tests, and it doesn't look as though your control was affected in any way.
Okay. MIPS reintegrates and wakes.
Is it sophisticated enough to where I can talk to it?
You think you can communicate with it. You're not sure if it's going to be able to kind of be on the same level as you, but you think you can get at least like feelings or basic concepts out of it. Yeah.
Autumn's looking like she's developing a headache from talking to all of these things, but she makes the connection.
Okay.
When she has a moment.
You feel emotions more than anything, just kind of a wash, not so much a flood, just, oh, there's an emotion, and oh, there's another one, and it's just kind of free floating. Nothing feels connected or like pointed.
I'm going to try to make my communication more abstract because it might be easier for it.
Okay.
So at first, it's just a general, warm, neutral greeting.
Okay. You get an almost perfect copy of it back.
I'm going to try to link the box to a sort of, this place is warm and safe. and just a sort of general pleasant feeling associated with the box it's currently in.
Okay. You get back kind of a muddle of emotions, but it doesn't seem negative.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna keep monitoring this box every day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what she's doing for now.
Cool. And finally, what are you doing about Voidal before we cap off?
I think I share the plan with them. To say, hey, it's going to take us a while, but we're working towards getting the equipment we need to go where things are warmer.
Oh,
And perhaps that would be a good place for them to leave the box.
yeah, I'd like to be somewhere warm.
It's going to take a while, but I think it will be worth it.
I hope so. Does anyone have anything they'd like to do before we end the Void Cavalcade Season 1?
I don't know that there's anything that can be done in 2 minutes.
No.
Perfect. Just wanted to check. So, just let all that air out. It's done. The Void Cavalcade has finished for this season. So we're going to go around. We're going to talk about the things we liked, all that business, outros, and yeah, good God. What a hell of a thing. So Choppy, starting with you, your favorite bit, where we can find you next, whatever else you want to add.
I am full of questions still.
Oh, I know. I wish I could have answered more of them.
I think honestly, I think the best part is the fact that you seem to be sold enough to have referred to it as season 1. So
well, I can't very well end it there, can I?
No, absolutely not. Beside that, actual favorite moment. I don't know. Honestly.
Totally fine.
So on to the other outro questions. Hi, my name is Chabi, also known as Hallway Secrets here on Twitch, Hallway 7 Secrets over on Twitter. You can find me on my own channel playing video games. You can also find me on various other channels doing some shows. Next up will not be the Void Cavalcade, but we will be playing some. I don't know if you've made announcements or anything, or if I should.
Oh, go for it.
Polished. Okay.
Yeah.
I will be playing some Apocalypse World over on Polished channel, and that will be let's see, my time. Yes, about a week from now. A week and 2 to 3 hours from now. And it's going to be awesome. Like, our cast discussion so far has been really promising, and I can't wait to show people this world. It's going to be really cool.
Awesome. That's super exciting. I'm so excited for you all. Jim.
Hi, my name is Yola Jim, and I think my favorite part on this whole thing has to be Luna just trying to go in their own costume at death. Everybody's like, no, so suspicious. So how now? Don't do that. And next time where you could find me is on my YouTube channel, where I'll be soon be uploading a new video.
That's exciting. Jim puts out some pretty quality stuff. Just saying. Darkora, you next.
Hey, favorite bit. I don't know about a favorite bit for the session. I mean, the conversation with Luna about definitions of death was really funny. Watching her watching them get regularly just more and more exasperated. Mm-hmm. It kind of felt like payback for the rest of the series. just slightly. Love you, Lena.
You made a
But-
hole in the ship, not lie in it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. You can find me. Obviously, you can find me on Twitch under this name or on Twitter at @darkorwith_. You'll most likely see me next on my own Twitch, where I'm looking to start streaming Nintendo Switch games this week.
Nice.
Haven't set up a schedule. I am the most disorganized person you'll ever meet, but there will be
Same.
one. And
that.
might be appearing here and there in various other places. I mean, I appeared with Jay last week, and that was really fun playing Don't
That was
Starve,
super good.
and obviously Economics. Maybe more of that. Who knows?
Who knows?
Watch this space.
Sweet. Polished.
Hi, I'm Polished. You can normally find me over on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/polishedcryptid. That's where I'll be in about 2 to 3 hours from now with some 5th edition D&D in a homebrew third-party system called High Seas Hijinks. We've got heaps of stuff on there. I could list it all, but honestly, I haven't had enough coffee. Additionally, my favorite part, like, I just really enjoyed playing Autumn, like, across the board. And I love her sort of immediate, like, this is an organized religion, this is danger, compared to, oh yes, I'll happily talk to this thing that probably fell out of the vault, could be anything, but no, that's the danger. I just also loved the group dynamics, that we never seem to be able to take the most straightforward path to anything.
No.
And I absolutely love that kind of thing as a player.
We can
and as
go
a
from
GM.
point A to C to D
Yes.
to Q, then to B.
Yes, exactly. That's my jam.
Oh, I will miss it. I will definitely miss this. Econorlax, round us off.
I wouldn't say it was my favorite part, but because I was kind of sorry that Autumn had to go through all of this. Like I can imagine poor plant, left one card, wandered off to the galaxy to feel some freedom, to do normal stuff, and there are conspiracies, cults, everything, like just waiting to get her. Poor little birch tree.
on top of having to play mom to multiple AIs.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm the only person who can talk to all of them.
And
For now.
I think my favorite part of the season was
Tough, isn't
I
it?
would say, yeah, the fact that we have all the time, we still have managed to have something new to surprise the rest of the party with.
Mhm.
These characters had so many stuff in their pockets, so to say. But discovering that in the beginning, I think, was most fun. And the fun we had on Tartalus dealing with problems there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Equinolax. There's one more show this week, not this week, this season, where I will be in the water on Tuesday. And after that, who knows? But I will be here, more certainly.
Most certainly. First off, thank you all of you for joining. This was a wild ride of a GM, given that I didn't know the system and had never GM'd on stream before. But I'm going to go through my favorite moments of each character, just real quick. Will, I would have to say, was I'm trying to think of a few different things in it, but maybe not a favorite moment, but just the way Will grew over the whole season, growing from kind of like angsty teen to slightly less angsty teen. It's hard to say how much out of that he is, but it's been an absolute journey to watch that, especially given what we designed for him as a character. I'll get out of here, Raven, with your compliments. You're making me blush. But yeah, just watching the whole thing was amazing. Jem, watching Luna go from not just crazy lunatic with a sniper rifle, but crazy lunatic with a sniper rifle with some surprisingly good ideas. And the skills to back it up. Watching you shoot a shuttle from like 200 meters away, despite almost hitting your teammates. And the lovely little gift that you made them all out of.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
Yeah.
Super touching. Thanks, Johnny. Darkora, watching Ava go from, oh, I'm a gunslinger and I can shoot things with the best of them, to never having fired a shot through the whole game.
Not a goddamn
100% of the shots you never fire.
It's true.
Yep.
You showed
Wayne
remarkable
Gretzky,
resolve.
Michael Scott, Ava Matic.
And you go from like, oh, I'm just going to go and tinker with things to, oh, I'm just going to rehaul this entire frigate's engines. Just on a whim, you know? More than once, no less. It was amazing. Polished. Autumn was not intended to be the target of all of these cults. In fact, this many conspiracies.
I just have a knack for it.
Yeah, it just clicked. But not only dealing with that, but doing the smaller things as well. Doing the hydroponics bay was super cool to see. Like every station you stopped at, like, oh, what's a new plant to get? And I'm like, fuck, all right, I guess I'll get my list out again. It was amazing to see the small things on the character as well as the big things of, okay, how do we go about doing this without getting everyone killed? And also, I'm going to hack things. Watching a birch tree hack things is not what I expected. And I loved it. I think you did amazing. And Eka Norlax, Meeps was a dream. Meeps was that like Joker in the corner.
Meeps was a fever dream.
Fever dream, yeah, that's the word I was looking for too.
Every time I thought I knew what you were going to do in a situation.
Like a sleep paralysis team, and like you
oh
lose
my
him
god,
off on the corner of your
drugging
eye.
the med team.
That was amazing. That has to be my favorite news moment.
Yeah.
Like, shh, go to sleep.
Yeah. But not only that, but when they asked you,
Admitting it, yeah.
Yeah.
You said that you drugged them. That was, Meeps was not what I expected, and
And they were like, "That's not legal."
Yeah. It was beautiful. Yeah. So I've been Jay. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at AlienJays. And where I'll be next is in just over 2 hours for Animus Absentis finale, and on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Water finale. I won't take up any more of your time, except to tell you about our sponsors, Fundamental RPG, which is what Animus and Water will be running on, and Grinding Coffee Co. You can go to grindingcoffee.co and use the code RAVEN, that's RAVVYN, for 13% off the purchase. And don't forget, they do subscriptions now. Don't know how it works, but it's pretty sweet. Take it away, Raven. Thank you so much for hosting.
Hey, that was fantastic. Very much enjoyed watching that finale for the season. All of it has just been great. It's been a great season. I very much enjoyed this particular game. We are going to go on a raid in just a minute here, but I want to say a quick thank you to Jay for running the game and the cast for playing, Michael Wayne for the gifted subs, everybody that's donated and done guild coins and stuff over the season. It's all been great, and yeah, it looks like there's definitely more story to tell, so we'll look at if schedules work out for everybody, we'll look at maybe bringing this back in season 6, which starts in January. So we'll see. Stay tuned. And then also stay tuned. If you want to pop back here in about 2 hours and 10 minutes, we'll have the season finale for Animus, which is going to be a really good time to jump into that story if you've not been keeping up. We're going to answer a lot of questions tonight and probably raise several more. Which we'll go into next season, which starts in September. So definitely swing by good time to jump into the story, and there's some really cool characters. I think that's about it. So we're gonna go raid go_JG. She's a cool variety streamer. She does a lot of really good stuff. Definitely give them a follow if you're not doing so already. And we'll see you in a couple hours. Bye, everybody.